You might be familiar with the rotary hand millstones that Dr. Ebeling showed us yesterday because of early Bible reference books. In 1798, Englishman Charles Taylor edited the popular Calmet's Dictionary of the Holy Bible and included renderings of various grinding stones. The first biblical geographer, American Edward Robinson, revised Calmet's dictionary in 1832, editing Taylor's renderings and adding an illustration of a millstone used by his own Scottish contemporaries, as if they had been used in antiquity. He would go on to write Biblical Researches, which is a foundational text for biblical studies. Like the Pompeiian millstone, the rotary hand millstone was not used in Levant until the Roman period. Dr. Ebeling explains how this strange conflation of images developed.
Earliest edition of Taylor's is from 1798, just to fix a date there. And I was very interested to find images that are pulled from classical sources, mostly European. Some of them are based on the accounts of relatively few travelers to the east at that time. But he actually has this great illustration of grinding stones that illustrate the entry called corn. And corn means grain or cereal, right? Not like maize, just to be clear on that. So corn is where it's at in all these early Bible dictionaries if I want to find out anything about something like grain, cereal, wheat, barley, that kind of thing. And so he shows in this illustration a rotary millstone, which is a Roman, it was introduced to the East in the early Roman period. And then we've got the middle is variations on that technology. But then on the right side, you can see, and it's kind of schematic, but it's a lower grinding stone or kern and then handstone, right? A mano and metate side, whatever you want to call them, grinding slab and handstone, which is really interesting because there's no references. So where did this come from? I don't know. So this is something I'm trying to track. So if we move forward in time 15 years, there are a couple editions that were produced from 1812 to 1816. So I'm sort of lumping them together here. But in an edition that was published at that time, and obviously this is the one that Robinson is going to be most familiar with, and that's actually the one that he changes quite a bit in his edition. He includes not only some of those drawings of millstones, note 3 of them out of 4. He drops out the handstone and the quern, the grinding slab on the right, which of course is an earlier technology, right? We all understand that. That's an early technology. So the early technology falls out, and he uses to represent corn at the time of the Bible, grinding grain with rotary millstones, but then also this photograph. And I've seen this reproduced so many times, right? I was trying to, at this point, figure out where did this come from? And it's very specific and it's not Oriental. So I started digging around. I had some help with this and was able to identify it as an image. It's a woodcut by Moses Griffith that was published in Thomas Pennant's A Tour of Scotland in 1774. And so this is the image. On the left, you have a younger woman and an older woman grinding grain with a rotary hand mill or a quern, which is a common grain grinding technology, even though it was going out of fashion at that time. And so here you can see this redrawn image of basically Scottish women at a mill. It's definitely not Eastern. No, it's Scottish, although it's changed a bit, but you can still see the hair covered or not and the clothing and all that. And he adds, of course, Matthew 24:41. 2 women shall be grinding at the mill, one shall be taken and the other left. And this is very interesting because in the entire Bible dictionary that Robinson edited, that was published in 1832, there are only 3 other images of women. But he kept this, and he not only kept this, he actually had it redone. This is how Robinson saw women grinding grain in Matthew 24:41.